Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in with us. Right now you're about to get a behind-the-scenes glimpse into Pastor Jen's house. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a visit with Pastor Jen.
Hey everyone, so glad you guys could stop on by. Why don't you guys come on in? I know many of you, you're accustomed to seeing me at the church, you're accustomed to seeing me in action, doing ministry, but this right here is a privilege for me, and I hope it's a blessing for you. See, because this is going to be a little bit of a behind the scenes look at what happens in my home when I'm not at the church. So I hope you enjoy the next few minutes that we're going to spend together. So hey, this is my living room. This is actually the room that you came into when you first entered into my home, and this is where pretty much everything in my life happens outside of sleeping and making something to eat. About this space right here is that as you can see, I have two computers on the table here. One's open because it's actually doing work right now, and people are praying with anybody who goes into the virtual prayer room. But I do my schoolwork from here as well. So I'm writing papers, watching lectures. Just so much happens right here. So even though you don't see me, know that when I'm here at home, I'm not only getting much personal stuff done, but I'm also working for you guys as well. And that is one of my greatest joys, is working for you guys. This is where my decor at Disneyland is. So why don't you guys come on over here and let me show you this wall. This picture is of the Tower of Terror that's at California Adventure. But it's not the California Adventure that is in Tower of Terror at California Adventure. It's actually the one that's in Paris. This is when Rudy and I went to London, and we went to Paris back in 2014, and we had our vacation. So that's really just kind of fun, a little bit of a momentum of something that Rudy and I did together that is now on the wall. This picture is a picture of my mom and my dad. It's on their wedding day. It's before my mom was diagnosed with MS, and before she became a quadriplegic. So it just kind of reminds me that there was a time in which my mom was able to walk, in which she was able to experience life the way I experienced life. Well, we're going to move on to this next section here now, which is actually the center focus of the living room, which is above my fireplace. Starting up top here, this is another photo that I took. Me and a friend Angelica went, and we tried to capture a photo that actually had all the spokes on. It took us almost an hour to realize that we were never going to be able to capture that photo because not all the spokes were on. It's not that we were missing them, everyone was missing them. And so we just kind of spent a little bit of time laughing, but we finally got that shot, and here it is up on my wall now. This right here is a little bit of fun. This is a little slice of Rudy. See, because when Rudy was with us, Rudy really loved Cars Land. And he loved the decor of Cars Land because, as you know, he was a Cars guy. And so I bought this decor when he was still with us, and so it made sense for me to incorporate it in a little bit of the stuff that I love, a little bit of what I know he enjoyed, and it's a great reminder that Rudy was with us, and it gives me a little bit of him. So now here is the last part of the living room space that I wanted to share with everyone. And what's really fun about this space is this rocking chair here is a rocking chair that actually I had when I was a kid, and when my dad passed away, it was something that I got. And so I just love being able to, I used to walk in this rocking chair for hours. But even more fun is I have a Jack and Sally. So as I've already mentioned to you, I love Jack and Sally. Now, I love Jack way more, but again, it's a package deal. We have two Jacks here. Fun part of this is I have one with a pumpkin, which is a Halloween kind of a theme, and then I have one with a little gift, which is a Christmas kind of a theme. And then, of course, then I have Sally right in the middle. And what animals do you all know that I love? I love dogs. And so, of course, I have to have Zero right here. Another fun part of this space is, again, because I like to have a little spice of Rudy. So right down here, I have Lightning McQueen, and I have Maynard because, as I mentioned before, Rudy loved Cars Land. He wasn't necessarily a Disneyland guy, but he was a Cars guy. So Cars Land kind of fit his personality. So it just reminds me of the things that he enjoyed, and it combines with what I enjoy with Disney and brings back a whole lot of fond memories. But I bet you guys have a whole lot of fond memories as well. And so this is just a little way for me to share what I have, and I look forward to even continuing to learn more about you and what are some of your fond memories. So hey, the next part of my space here in my home, you guessed it, is the kitchen. Now the kitchen is a necessary part of the house, but it's not one in which I spend a whole lot of time in, other than just coming in, grabbing something to eat, and exiting Athens. Now there's multiple ways in which I enjoy a cup of coffee, and so I'm going to show you just a few of the different ways in which I'm able to make coffee. So the first way right here, and I usually don't make coffee that often this way, but I have it as an option. This right here makes cold brew coffee. Now, as you can see, I don't have any in it, so I probably should kind of get on the game and stop being so lazy and make some cold brew coffee. Now, if you're wondering how I got turned on to cold brew coffee, well, we have Andy to thank for that, because see, Andy doesn't know how not to drink cold brew coffee. In fact, he's a little bit kind of like, it's almost worrisome how much he drinks it. So you might want to ask him about that the next time you see him. But he's the one who turned me on to this, and so I think I'm gonna make some of this tonight. The next coffee maker that I have, this one is really kind of fun because I bought it back in 2016 after getting back from Spain. Because I don't know if you know it, but Europe actually has way better coffee than we do, and they actually know how to make coffee way better than we do. I mean, we might find some places around town that make pretty good coffee, but Europe, hands down, they got this technique down. But I went and I bought a Breville because this makes a latte, and that's milk and coffee. So right here, we put the milk in, and we froth it right here, and then we make our espresso, and we put it all together, and we have a latte. Now this is one that I make just once in a while at nighttime when I just want to relax. It's just a nice little cup of coffee to end the day with. So I have what is called a French press. And what happens with a French press is I boil water here on the stove. I have a fresh grinder that I grind coffee every couple days. And I put about 4 scoops of coffee in here, and then I pour 4 cups of water over it, and I let it steep, and I let it just sit there for about 7 minutes, and then I have amazing coffee to drink. So the next part of my house is my dining room space. Now what's fun about my dining room space is, again, it's all things Disney right here. So I'm going to show you really quickly, I thought it would be fun, is from Beauty and the Beast, I have 2 plates here. So I have the primary dinner plate, and then like a little salad plate or a little plate to hold bread or an appetizer. But it says right on here, be our guest. Check this out. Like this right here matches my plate setting on the table. So it's Disney. And I'm like, dang, anything Disney, of course I'm gonna have to have, right? So what would be really fun is if maybe one day I was able to invite some of you. And maybe some of you would be able to come over and we'd be able to enjoy a meal together here in my dining room space. Well, you know, like I have tattoos, I have the pink hair. This part of the house actually demonstrates probably that little roughness of myself that many of you may not know that I have back here. This is where all things music happens. So I have one is right here, not one, but I actually have 2 mixing boards. These mixing boards allow me to record into a computer that I have hooked up to it, and then as it's being recorded, I'm able to hear it through the speakers. Check out what's back here. This is where I get to let loose, be real, be raw, and just let out all the frustration that I have maybe that's built up within me. And that is the drum set right here. My favorite all-time band, even when I first met Rudy, was Metallica. So if you were to ask me what music I pretty much will get behind here, and I'll just play the night away all night. It's a lot of the old Metallica songs. So if you don't know Metallica, you can go look up some of those old songs right there, and then ask me, quiz me on it. Ask me if it's a song that I play, and I'll be honest and tell you. But you know what? I just love this space, and playing behind the drum set allows me to have that time to myself. And you know how many people get to see this space? I don't bring people into this part of my house that often, but because I love you guys and because you mean so much to me, I wanted to invite you back here so that you could see a little bit behind the scenes of how I manage my own frustrations. So this is just one of those ways that I do that. So hey everyone, we are back here in my living room, and I wanted to close with you on one last thing that helps to bring me peace, and that is the guitar. I have right here, I have many guitars, but this is the one that I've chosen to keep in my living room. And as you can see, it has skulls on it, so it actually matches my personality quite well with the tattoos and the pink hair. But when I play the guitar, I don't have to be a rock queen. All I need to do is be able to sit down and just play to the best of my ability, and it brings me a lot of peace and a lot of comfort. Right now, we are all stuck in our home. We can't go out to the places that we're accustomed going to. I'm not going to the office, you're not going to school, maybe you're not going to the office of your jobs. We're all not going to restaurants, so all of us are now just stuck in our homes having to find things to do. This is one of those things where I'm able to take a break through the course of my day, and I'm able to play just a little bit of the guitar, and it brings me some peace. And I hope that you have the same activities inside of your home as well. Those things that you can do that bring you peace. So hey everyone, that concludes the tour of my house and a little bit of a behind the scenes look of what goes on in the life of Pastor Jen while me, is here under quarantine here at my home. But you know what? I can't wait until the time that we get to be and see each other in person. And I bet you can't wait either. And so that's the day that I'm looking forward to, and that's the day that I'm gonna focus on. I'm not gonna focus on the fact that I have to stay home. I'm gonna focus on the reality that this is gonna one day end, and that we're gonna be back together again, and we're gonna have the biggest party ever. So now it's time to go to the last part of the living room.
Oh wait.
If you don't know who turned me on to cold brew, that would be our very own Andy, because
Sorry.
So hey, here we are back in my living room space that helps to bring me peace. One of those, and I kind of think that really just kind of fits me, kind of, you know, that little rocker chick going on inside of me, growing up in the 80s. Physical proximity to one another, I don't like that. I don't like using physical. So